this is the role that I play for the whole healing of humanity. Like maybe I feel emotion so deeply because I need to go through these things and learn how to process these things so I could be able to give it to you in a way that helps you to learn these things and learn to process these things in a way that empowers you and is not debilitating. Hey, you feel that?
You are now tuned into You Feel That with Bryce the Third.
All right, here we go. Welcome to the first episode of You Feel That with Bryce the Third, my new podcast on emotional wellness. Emotional wellness for the rest of us, for those who weren't necessarily shown how to be emotionally well, for those of us who never necessarily had the foundation to develop good emotional habits and to learn to use our emotions in a way that build us, that empower us, not debilitate us, not overwhelm us. Welcome. This is so exciting. A little bit of background about me. My name is Bryce The Third. If you don't know me, you can follow me at Bryce The Third on Instagram. That's where I'm the most active. I'm a rapper, artist, community activist, event organizer, like all these fucking things, right? And what I've learned in my journey, which originally just started with music, was that I'm pretty good at communicating. And so, that led to me being able to kind of like talk to people, make Instagram videos and make different type of content that reach people and touch people. And ever since, I just been on this journey of growth, like trying to like hone in on what it is that I'm good at, what it is that really drives me and inspires me, and what it is that really affects the people in my community, that really lifts up and empowers the people in my community. And I've continuously over and over been drawn to emotional wellness. Why? What qualifies me to talk to you about emotional wellness? Well, I am one of the most emotional persons you'll ever fucking meet. Like I'm not huge on I'm not huge on like horoscopes or nothing like that, but some of my friends have told me because I'm a Cancer, like that we can be very emotional. I don't know, just from the very moment that I was born, like I've always felt deeply, like I've always felt things to a degree to where it's almost like I had to like look around and see like and really like inquire with people like around me, like y'all feel that, like it's heavy. It's heavy. So these feelings of like, happiness, but also sadness, but then, learning the spectrum of emotions in the middle where it's like, like anxiety, fear, like I've always felt like very heavy. Right. It's very strong. Like I always, like my emotions, I feel like it's just very strong. So a little bit more background too. I'm a person who identifies as a person in recovery from alcoholism and substance use. And a big reason why I use alcohol and substances the way that I did was because of these fucking feelings. Like the feelings and the thoughts as well, but the feelings, like I didn't ask for this. Like I didn't ask to live this life. I didn't ask for this sensitivity. So like I would want to shut it off. But the whole thing is when I would, numb up or whatever I did, like when I came back, like when I was done being numb, like the feeling was still there, but like I didn't learn the lesson that the feeling was there to teach me. So it really wasn't like this process, these things that I'm describing, like learning the lessons and stuff like that, really didn't come until like I started like living life intentionally. And my sobriety date is 7/27/2013. My recovery date is 7/27/2013. And like I didn't really start living intentionally until then. Like around my emotions, I was always kind of pulled towards whatever I was feeling. Like I was always like I felt it and I did it. So like I've been tasered by the police. Like I've been in high speed car chases with like people I was in interpersonal relationship with. I've been mean. I've said mean things. I've done mean things. And for me, it just was always shown to me that this was a unsustainable way of life. So like a big thing that I've learned in my recovery and in living intentionally is like learning to deal with these heavy ass emotions. I was just talking to my counselor yesterday. We had got together and we started kind of like discussing some things. And I don't want to weird y'all out on the first episode, but he had said how like when you skin your knee, your body as a whole, right? So, but when you skin your knee, that part of your body reacts differently and feels differently than the rest of your body because it needs to heal the whole of the body, right? So he compared that to like why I may feel the ways that I feel or feel the emotions that I feel. If we think about the unity of people, like if all together we are supposed to be like one unit, like so as humanity, like as like culturally for humanity, if like we are one whole, right? And this is gonna give you like a huge, like you're being inundated. I think that's the word to like the energy behind this podcast, because like I like for real, like we go deep with it. But like, so say humanity is a whole, right? And I'm a part of the whole, and maybe the reasons I feel the ways that I feel is because like this is the role that I played for the whole healing of humanity. Like maybe I feel emotion so deeply because I need to go through these things and learn how to process these things so I could be able to give it to you in a way that helps you to learn these things and learn to process these things in a way that empowers you and is not debilitating. Maybe I need to feel them so strong and so tough, and I've lived because somebody who looked like me, a black person in the circumstances that we live in, like a lot of people don't live through it because they're so mad. We're so mad. We get so consumed by our anger and our fear and our inadequacy feeling that, we end up getting in a circumstance or a predicament that gets us killed, or we kill somebody, like I've made it. I'm alive. I made it on the other side of like these precarious circumstances. So maybe I'm here to be able to teach, lead, and guide other people to be able to figure out how to handle these emotions, and that's just very exciting to me. This is just yet another medium that I'm able to use to help guide and teach and lead. There's a lot of things that I'm excited about, a lot of things that I'm creating in a lot of ways that I want to be able to speak to people who may be experiencing life with the sensitivity that I have when it comes to emotions. And in this podcast, like we'll explore like multiple levels of emotions, because at the end of the day, like everything is emotionally fueled. Like even if you think about different occupations, like people in different occupations, like a lot of people don't know, like there's always a field of emotion in every occupation. Like when it comes to everything in life, like underneath it all, like there's this emotional level, this energetic emotional level, and learning how to identify what these things mean to us, and learning to identify like the roles that these things play in our desired reality, like where it is that we desire to go, who it is that we desire to be, what effect that we desire to have on the world. Like this is important. So I want to make, this podcast will be a podcast that you could tap into that helps you to, get a perspective that may help you to be able to do so. And every now and then we'll have guests as well, from different walks of life to come on and talk about like what their life has been in regards to emotions, because like everybody feels shit. Everybody feels, but like everybody interprets feelings differently, and everybody uses them differently in all occupations, like in all circumstances, all walks in life, like it's all different, right? So I just feel like this is very important to have a space where we can come and we can talk about it. We can get it off our chest. We can figure out, what it means, and we can figure out like different techniques and processes, including mindfulness, including healthy diet, including taking time for ourselves, including exercise, including self discovery, including travel, including like all these things, all these tools that I found that help me with my emotional wellness, music, and creativity, like all the things that are wrapped into this realm of emotional wellness. Like this is a space where we're gonna talk about that. So I'm very excited for what the future holds. This is episode 1, so this is as ugly as it's gonna get, and that excites me as well. We should be able to add more structure. We should be able to add more. It's a fucking show. So we gonna figure it out. We gonna figure it out. And that's another thing too, like the fear, the anxiety around starting something. Like this will also be for my creatives and my entrepreneurs, because it's like a lot of emotion that goes into, like there's a lot of inner working that like a lot of inner working alignment that goes into creating anything. So before anything is made, like there has to be an understanding internally of why we're making it. Otherwise, like we're not gonna have the motivation to be able to do so. Like we're not gonna show up to our in our fullest capacity, because there's doubt or there's fear that prevents us, like that builds a wall between what we desire and the actions that we take. And a lot of times I find, like the actions that I take, like I may want to do something very badly, but I don't, because like I feel before I even start that I can't do it, or that somebody that comes from where I come from can't do it. And then there's intergenerational trauma. We gonna discuss all that, because at the end of the day, like culturally, like people who look like me, who have been through the things that I've been through, who have come from where I come from, like statistically it is said that I'm not gonna see the things that I want, like wealth and abundance and a life free of a life free of worry. And this is not to say that there won't be any adversity. Like adversity builds character and strength, but I mean like worry, that unnecessary thing that we tend to do because anxiety and fear tells us that that's what we should be worried about. That's what we should be focused on, is the worry. We should worry. Like even when it comes to like the sayings that we have from where we from, like I just noticed like cultural differences. Like for me, when we say bye, like at the end of saying bye, we say be safe. Because there's a lot of circumstances in the environments that we in that can be cause for us not being safe. Whereas in other cultures like that, ain't nobody worried about being safe. Like I'm always safe. I'm good. I don't have to worry about these things. Like I'm good. So the inner working is what allows for us to make the moves that may change our lives. So that's another thing that I want to do. I want to be able to empower people to change their fucking lives. Like it's important that that you have the power to be able to get outside of your mind and your emotions, which can lie to us sometimes. We can't believe everything we think and feel all the time, especially if we are creatives and we're looking to make something. So it's just I find this podcast to be a very important addition to like human civilization, to my culture's existence, to people who look like me and people who don't look like me. Like it's so wild how the people that relate to some of the content that I've been able to create look nothing like me. Aren't even my gender, like just are somebody that vibrates along the same wavelength of this emotional plane. And not everybody lives here like I do, but I can guarantee you that no matter what it is you do, there is a benefit to you to know how to navigate the plane of emotional wellness, how to navigate the plane of feelings that you may be feeling, or even awareness, and to discover and develop empathy around the things that other people are feeling and other people are going through. It's called emotional intelligence, or EQ, like to know like how some of the things that we do may affect somebody else. Like that will set us above and beyond a lot of other people, because we'll move in a way that allows a space for other people to feel expressed. And when people feel expressed, when you make people feel comfortable, when you make people feel like they can be themselves around you, or they can be honest and transparent, like you, not only do you set yourself up for success in whatever field you're in, but you make the world a better place, like because you allow for human expression. And we need that as a culture, like as a human culture, as like on this spaceship Earth, like like past all of the different classifications of humans, right? Like Americans or Black Americans or whatever you want to, like just on the spaceship Earth, like everybody here, like everybody wants to be seen, like everybody wants to feel expressed, and emotional intelligence allows for us to be able to do so. So yeah, I'm just very, 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 very excited about this podcast and the potential that it holds, and everybody that supports me and my endeavors. I hope that you get every episode. I hope that you get $200-$300 worth of information and value out of it. Like, that's what I want to do. I want to pour into you because you need it. You deserve it. Like, you deserve it. Like, you just existing. Like, Pat. Like, I'm not. I don't know you specifically, or maybe I do. Maybe you're somebody that I know, and you're just paying attention to, like, what I got going on. But like, just you being a human, you deserve to be fed into, to be poured into, and that's like, I really want to learn more ways to be able to do that for you. So that's it. Like, that's it. This has been episode 1, the ugliest episode of You Feel That with Bryce the Third. I look forward to getting with you on episode 2. And whether you've seen this on YouTube or you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts or Google Play or whatever, wherever you get your podcast from, I thank you. I thank you for tuning in. I thank you for being here. Leave a rating and review, because that's going to help me to reach more people. That share with people who you feel may need this. Follow me over on Instagram, where I'm the most active, at Bryce the Third. I create content over there too. We do clips, reels, 60-second charges, which is like, little videos that you can apply to your life, and just kind of I share the journey too. So before I get out of here, one thing that I really admired about Nipsey Hussle was, there's a lot of things. Just a lot of things. Bro was a very, and still is, a very big energy in my life. But he will always show the process as we went along. And as a very emotional person, like, I need to see that process. I need to see the transparency behind you doubting yourself, but still moving and still showing up, and the pieces that go into it. And because when we look at a lot of the things that people create now, like, there's just a lot of highlight reels, and life isn't a fucking highlight reel. Sometimes it's boring. Sometimes it's still. Sometimes it's lonely. Very, very lonely, because I've been lonely, but but sometimes it's overwhelming. Sometimes, like, there's too many people, like, sometimes we don't know where we're going. Sometimes we know for sure, and it goes like this, and we need to be aware of the fact that there's going to be highs and there's going to be lows, but neither one of those heights are us. Like I'm not my high. Like, I'm not going to get, like, don't get big headed because, like, I'm here and everything is making sense and I'm better than you. And like, nah. And also, like, when I'm low, like watch out, like, don't get depressed. Like, this is impermanent. It's not going to last forever. So that's very important to me, to give you a behind the scenes look. So you could pop over to my Instagram at Bryce the Third and get a lot of these parts of the process, like, view a lot of these parts of the process, as well as you can join my Patreon too for a lot of, like, behind the scenes stuff. And the Patreon will be in my bio on Instagram, and also in the description of this podcast. So thank you all for tuning in to the first episode of You Feel That with Bryce the Third, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode.